Well, late last week, we reported the rescue plan for the casino operator Star Entertainment. That includes the sale of its half share of the $3.6 billion Queen's Wharf Casino in Brisbane to its joint venture partners, Chow Tai Fook Enterprises and the Far East Consortium. The price? $53 million of cash, of which $35 million was to be paid immediately. Now, there were future payments dependent on the performance of the Queen's Wharf. But today came a bombshell in the shape of US casino operator Bally. It launched an unsolicited, non-binding proposal to provide Star with additional funding. The deal, though, it's unusual. Bally, led by its chairman, Sue Kim, is offering up to $250 million in exchange for convertible notes, which can be exchanged in the future for 50.1% of the Star's shares. In other words, control. Andrew W. Scott is Vice Chairman and CEO of Inside Asian Gaming, who interviewed Sue Kim for his website just a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke with him earlier.
Well, Bally's basically seeing an opportunity here, I would say. I mean, they're well known for picking up casinos that are distressed. They own 19 casinos. They formerly were interested in Japan. They've picked up a casino recently in the UK. And I know for a fact that Sue Kim and his team were down here in Sydney last week, or the week before, I think I should say. And they also checked out the Gold Coast and Brisbane. I simply think that they see a great opportunity here, and this fits their portfolio.
Okay, well, let's just pick up a little bit of that interview you did with Sue Kim not long, around about the time that he was here in Australia. Let's have a listen to what he had. He was in an airport at the time you were interviewing him, so let's have a listen.
We are also very cognizant that, that it, this is not, we don't have we haven't operated it, in Australia. And so there's a lot of learning that we need to do, meeting all the constituents there, obviously, the government, labor, the creditors, the equity holders, and there's just a lot that we need to do to make sure that, before that we would actually get involved. But again, I walked away from that and being pleasantly surprised that there could be an opportunity there.
So, Andrew, more than pleasantly surprised, and now think that they can make this bid. It is opportunistic, there's no doubt about that, but given the other deal that was going through, that clearly was also opportunistic.
Absolutely. I think Chow Tai Fook and Far East saw a great opportunity to do a deal that would be very favourable to them, not so favourable to Star and the local shareholders. And Sue Kim's come in and said, well, look, I can maybe better that, or make something that would be better for the local, the local stakeholders here in New South Wales.
So just a very simple question. Would it be easier and simpler for everybody if the Star simply went broke and left it to administrators?
Well, that's a decision in some ways the New South Wales government needs to make. I mean, do they want Star Casino? Do they want a casino like Star in Sydney? I mean, there's a reason. I'm old enough to remember when it came in back in the 90s. There's a reason we did that. They've made it so tough for Star to operate now and to be profitable that they're almost pricing them out of existence. So the question is, does the New South Wales government want there to be a casino or not in Sydney?
And what's your own sense of that? Because one deal is that they won't do with Oak Tree is to give up the land on which the casino sits. Oak Tree wants that at a dirt cheap price, and the government won't cop that.
Well, I'm with the government on that. I mean, I think the land belongs to the government. It belongs to the people of New South Wales, and I don't think the government should give up the land. I think Bally's proposal doesn't involve that, and in that respect alone, it's probably a better proposal. In addition to that, it also doesn't propose breaking Star up. Star, of course, has got 3 properties. They've got the Sydney property, they've got the Gold Coast property, the former Jupiters, and they've got the new Queen's Wharf in Brisbane, which just opened recently. So why would you want to break that company up? And that's what Sue Kim said in that interview with me. He said, I think that this company has got a better chance of survival by keeping it together, and that's what he's trying to do.
And just a quick one, can the Star overcome the fact that it's got a crisis of the number of patrons it's got at all of its properties right now?
It's got crises on all sorts of fronts at the moment, not least exactly as you just say. It's not trading very well. And why isn't it trading very well? Well, now with all of these regulatory actions that the New South Wales government is taking, it's making it very, very hard. It's not a level playing field with the pubs and clubs around New South Wales. So if I want to go and play as a casino patron at the Star, I've got to jump through all these hoops. I'm only allowed to play a certain number of hours a day, a certain number of hours a week, whereas these rules do not apply to pubs and clubs. So, I mean, they've only got 2,000 pokies out of 94,000 in the state. So it's making it very, very difficult. And some would say the pendulum has swung too far. Certainly, Star did a lot of bad stuff that they shouldn't have done. I think they acknowledge that. Those people are now gone from that company, although the company is still culpable, and it's still not even held to be suitable to hold a casino license at the moment. So the government's got a manager in there. So they've got crises, as you say, at all number of fronts, and the government's got to at some point say, all right, we're going to make your business viable, or we're not.
Tell you what, Andrew W. Scott, Chief Executive of Inside Asian Gaming. We'll have a chat with you very shortly, no doubt, Andrew. This has still got plenty to run.
Thanks, Ross. Thanks for your time.
Well, the